Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
We will have some new videos up for you guys, all three channels, Evolutionary, also EEARTS, and here on Heart's Home. So, Saraswati, or Saraswati, she is the goddess of wisdom, among other things. And we are going to share with you a mantra to Saraswati, the Hindu goddess of learning, wisdom, music, and aesthetics. She is literally known as eloquence and existence, and also Veda Mata, which is the mother of the Vedas. She first appears in the Rig Veda, and in later religious texts she is identified as the inventor of Sanskrit, and appropriately gives Ganesha the gifts of pen and ink. And she is also the patron of arts and science and the wife of Brahma, even if the Bengal Vaishnavas consider her the first, the wife of Vishnu. Saraswati is also worshipped as the goddess of learning in Jainism and by some Buddhist sects.
A lot of information she can provide you, bringing you wisdom and understanding. And I think that's where we run into the imbalances in this 3D world, especially over here in the West. It's pretty imbalanced. Normally, in so many other ages, it's very common for women to be the teachers, the gurus, the masters, those that you go to for divine inspiration, because it is part of the divine feminine. She's what comes into being. So, with that information, you can see how much things have really changed, because you look in our religious scriptures here in the West, and it always talks about God. He is almighty. It's always it's so extremely out of balance. But in reality, you need the two balanced to get the most of everything.
Absolutely. It's said that when we gain the favor of Saraswati, then we will end up gaining the favor of Lakshmi, because wisdom leads to abundance. And wisdom also leads to understanding what true abundance is.
It does. And, learning through life experiences, and what you learn from those experiences, that's your wisdom. You can't really open a book and gain wisdom. You can't open a book and gain a lot of these divine teachings. It's something you have to sit quietly and go within and being very, very present in the moment and working through your problems of daily life. This is what builds your wisdom.
It definitely does. Presence is so important, and being there in the moment is of utter importance, truly. Saraswati name means elegant, flowing, and watery, and is indicative of her status as one of the early Aryan boundary rivers. The Saraswati River, modern name is Saraswati, just like the Ganges, flows from the Himalaya and is considered a sacred source of purification, fertility, and good fortune for those who bathe in her waters. The sacred river, like the Ganges, then developed into a personified deity. Again, this is how they explain it here in the West. Yeah. The reality is, absolutely the embodiment of wisdom itself, but then also a real being. So if you tap into Saraswati, what do you pick up? Where do you feel her presence, or how would you describe her presence?
Definitely in the essence of all of the arts. When someone is doing artwork, when someone is writing a poem, when someone is writing a book, bringing this divine information into fruition is definitely tapping into Saraswati. She's also known to really go where she's needed, being from place to place to place to help bring is somewhat of a muse, someone who brings you inspiration and that's such a pure form of her energy. You know, if you're struggling, if you're someone who's an artist or a book writer and you have blocks, this is a mantra that you could do to help remove those blocks, because she's going to bring you that wisdom and that knowledge, and remove that barrier that's keeping you stopped. She's going to point out in your life to help you realize where the block came from, so that can be removed, so you can have this knowledge and understanding and wisdom and abundance.
Absolutely. So this is an actual, relatively simple one. And again, her name can be pronounced with the more of a W sound or the more of a V sound, Sarasvati or Saraswati. And the mantra itself is Om Aim. Aim is the root sound for Sarasvati. If you guys have been following along, we've shared other videos in the past that has used Aim, like Om, Aim, Reem, Shreem, Kleem, Chamundaye, Vishaye. Now that is calling in the energies of Saraswati, but also Lakshmi and Parvati, and the Durga energy, which kind of encompasses all of those. So when we're talking about Saraswati, and some will choose to just use the bija or seed root mantra. The bija sound is Aim, but it's simply Om Aim Sarasvati or Saraswatiyai Namaha. So when you put that little Y, AI on the end, it's kind of a symbol of reverence, so to speak, like great, so it's just basically denoting a very, very important aspect of the being. Om Aim Saraswatiyai Namaha.
Mm-hmm. Om Aim Saraswatiyai Namaha. And even the simpler ones, I would still write them down and put them right in front of me so that I can learn them, and give yourself plenty of time. Now, the mantra can bring you into a place of peace, but you still have to go through the part where you're learning it and doing the tongue twister. You know, your peace is a little bit disrupted in the beginning because you're trying to figure out all these syllables. But definitely go through that little bit of a rocky part, because in the end, when you're able to say this smoothly and get lost in it, it really can remove some amazing blocks for artists, book writers, people who are just really enjoying the finer things in life, or even trying to bring finer things in life to others.
And again, when we break it down, Om is the sound of the universe and of creation itself. Aim is a bija mantra, and Aim is the feminine counterpart of Om in some traditions. And then Sarasvati or Saraswati is her name, and again known as the goddess of wisdom, speech, communication, poetry, music. And then Namaha just means reverence and respect, basically. So it's drawing these aspects into our life, and personification of these aspects is given as Sarasvati.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a really good space to be in. If you're feeling stuck, you'd want to do this one.
Absolutely. And again, doing her mantra will end up drawing Lakshmi into your life. As we draw more wisdom in, we will be blessed with abundance. Mm-hmm. As always, guys, much love. Thanks for being part of this family. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.